Hey everybody, welcome back to Airsoftology Mondays, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and it's also collecting some great questions for overseas responses. I'm your host, Jonathan Higgs, and that's right, I want to remind you guys, I am heading to Taipei, Taiwan for the Camo Show, and that's happening in 2 weeks? 2 weeks. Actually, kind of like a week and a half. I leave just after the next Monday show, like Tuesday at midnight, flying out, 13-hour flight. I will be in Taiwan. I will be there, and I'll get to tour the G&G factory and get to have a chance to ask some questions to Mr. Liao. And that's where I want to ask you guys. Instead of me asking him, the CEO, the chairman, the big guy of G&G, how about you guys ask the questions? So not only this week, put your questions for me to answer next week down below in the comment section, but also put some down there for Mr. Liao, the chairman and CEO of G&G. Make sure on those just put like to G&G or some kind of like question for G&G, so I know those are separate, so I don't, pick those out for the next week to go to answer them. So with that said, let's jump on into questions from a few weeks ago, because this is actually a Lost Questions episode. If you guys don't know what that is, it's where I answer a lot more questions than ever make it into a Monday show. So I'll be pulling questions that I've already answered from previous episodes that were really good, but just didn't have the time to get them in. And they're going to be in this one. And then of course, I'll see you guys on the backside with the video recommendation of the week. But right now it's time for the Palco mail call. The Fictionic writes, could you explain to your viewers why a sniper is not a good starter gun? I play in this group that grows in size very fast as people hear about airsoft and want to try it, but these darn guys for some reason don't listen when I say don't buy a sniper. So yeah, sniper rifles have become very popular lately with like Novrich, Bojups, House Gamers, and Jet doing videos, especially Novrich. I mean, Novrich, a personal friend of mine, by the way, does some amazing sniper videos. Of course, you know who he is. If you're not subscribed to him, you must be living under a rock right now. But yeah, it's made the sniper rifle an extremely popular starter gun. People see the videos, they're like, I want to go do this. And they don't realize that it does take a long time. I mean, Novrich himself had been playing for 10 years, 9 years. Before he started really doing the videos here this last year. So it does take a lot of experience to be good at it. You're at a huge disadvantage, low round count. If you've got to upgrade it to a certain point, it's kind of a challenge, especially for younger players, to pull that bolt back. If you're using a spring sniper rifle, there's a lot of negatives to using a sniper rifle. And then you have to carry a sidearm with you, like, well, this guy, to make sure you have something to back up when somebody gets within your engagement distance. Yeah, it really is. And if you guys are brand new to this, I tell people all the time, I used to tell people in the shop, when I used to visit National Airsoft was my local shop, I used to hang out there all the time, and people come in, I want to get a sniper rifle. I'm like, consider an AEG first, maybe. Ease yourself in, because especially you're going to be so outgunned. Try it out, see if you like the hobby, then you can move into the specialty stuff and have that sniper rifle. So yeah, I agree 100%. I think personally as a starter gun, it's not the best choice. It's not even in my top 10 list of best choices to get you going into airsoft. But yeah, as you move on, you start to get out of that very newbie level and you start to love the hobby and learn about it. Yeah, go ahead and grab one then. Have some fun, enjoy it. The Insurge writes, why aren't mock suppressors sold in the United States allowed to have foam on the inside? Am I able to insert my own foam to silence the gun? And if so, what's the best way of doing it? So in the US, foam suppressors in airsoft are classified in the real firearm category. And by having any kind of sound suppression in them, could be misconstrued as a suppression device, sound suppression device that should go on a real firearm. Most states, they're illegal. They're just tax stamp. So you actually have to pay a tax on them, wait for a little waiting period, then you can actually have them. Totally legal. You can do that. And in some states, they are not legal to own. Most states, they are. In the United States, as a federal law, they are legal to own real suppressors, the real stuff. Because of the foam does deaden the sound, and the way that the ATF, or the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms in the United States, that regulates that law and enforces those laws, has the sound deadening capability in there. It's very ambiguous, the way the law is written. So anything that deadens sound can be a suppressor or silencer, therefore, as long as it can attach to a real gun. So that's why you don't see suppressors getting shipped to the United States for airsoft having foam in them. Does that mean you can't pick some up? Of course you can. Does it mean you can't find them some places? Yeah, you can find them. Are they illegal to own? It's a gray area. Probably not. It's intent. Remember, intent of laws thing. And I think I've discussed this question about a year or so ago on Mondays for you guys who watched a bunch. Really, law comes down to the intent of your habit. If you're going to put in an airsoft gun and use it for airsoft, the intent's not there to silence a firearm. So, are they illegal in that matter? Probably not, but I don't want to be the one to press the issue. So that said, you having it for airsoft for that use is probably okay. Again, I'm not an attorney, so if you get busted, don't look at me. But I wouldn't probably worry too much about the ATF kicking down your door for a little bit of foam and an airsoft suppressor. Airsoft with Flask writes, hello John, I'm an amateur airsoft YouTuber, but at the moment only have one camera to film with and can't afford another one. Is this enough to get a decent amount of footage, or do I have to urgently get another camera? Actually, here's my thought on equipment. Storytelling comes first. So if you're good at playing, you've got whatever camera you have. It doesn't have to be a GoPro, what you said here in the question. You do have a GoPro. Whatever you have to shoot with when you're out playing, if you're doing gameplay, if you're doing whatever, if you're doing studio stuff like here, shoot with whatever you have. It's about telling the story, creating good content. Once you start doing it and you realize you like it, yeah, jump in. Assuming you're doing gameplay here, I'm just going to kind of make the assumption, you didn't really specifically say it, that I would probably do consider maybe getting some sort of reverse cam or scope cam in the near future. A lot of people in the gaming world have gone into that, like gameplay. I actually run 3 different cameras. Some guys even run 4 or 5. They have like the over-the-shoulder one and all that. I personally run a GoPro here, a zoom cam so you can see my shots, and then a reverse cam when I do my gameplay filming. I have all 3 of those angles to kind of use and stitch in. But that said, for the longest time, I ran one camera right up here in my head, and it was just fine. Again, as long as you tell a great story, edit it really nice, and you just continue to improve and practice, you'll be fine with one, no problem. Yoshi on YouTube writes, hey dude, what's the best, safest way to mute battery rattle? I'm using a mini in my SEMA M14, as the large is too big, but it rattles like hell. I'm assuming just stuffing the stock with something would be a fire risk? Cheers, dude, love the channel. So you're talking about a small battery and a big stock, and it bounces down the road. While there is a tiny little fire risk about wrapping it up, I think you should be probably okay, especially if you pick something kind of fire retardant material. Like, don't stuff it with newspaper, kindling, and wood shavings, and douse it with gasoline and put it in there. But you should be all right. I mean, especially if you're dealing with a mini, I'm assuming lipo here. You can get those lipo bags, those small ones that keep it from catching fire. Those would be a fantastic way to stuff it. Put the battery in the bag, put the bag inside the stock, keeps the noise down, and if there's a lipo fire, you're covered. It's gonna be your best way to take advantage of it. But if you had to stuff it with something else, I would say something not terribly fire prone, like maybe some cloth, like fire retardant cloth. Like dry fire would be fantastic. You can find out a dry fire shirt, you can get a hold of one of those, stuff it in there. But if you can do it, dry fire, best thing would be the lipo bag. Get one of those for like 10 or 15 bucks. Put your battery in, fold it up, right in the stock, should keep it quiet and make you a lot more safe, just in that oddball chance that lipo does decide to go poof on you. All right, guys, that's it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one comes from a channel I haven't talked about in a little while, and I really like these guys. They are our top of my subscriber list. I have like 6 or 7 or 8 like airsoft channels I look forward to watching videos from every single week. And this is one I haven't shared with you guys. And if you guys are new to the channel or just haven't really looked around the gameplay, this one's worth the watch. Team called BOOOM, it's their channel, TRAC, and these guys are out of France, and they do some really great gameplay, great camera angles, really great setup. I love the way they tell a story through this. Plus, I got to tell you, cool places to play. US, we have some great bases, some military facilities, lots of great fields, but getting to see some of this cool stuff from overseas, like this is a huge factory and they just play at it every single weekend. It's like a place we would put on a huge Milsim event here in the US, and they're just like, it's just a weekend game. It's no big deal. We're just going to go play like a Saturday or a Sunday or something like that. So guys, if you haven't checked out TRAC, give it a watch. They've got a ton of stuff in their catalog. I've been following these guys for years. And as always, I'll have a link to the video in the description below, or you can just click right here next to me if you guys are on desktop to watch the video. Well guys, as always, thank you so much for being cool and hanging out here every single week with me. I really appreciate it. You guys are so awesome, and you're awesome down in the comment section below. And like I said earlier, if you guys want to get your question on the show for me, put it in the comment section below and vote up your favorites. Make sure to hit that little thumbs up, the like button down there on that. Also, if you guys are brand new here, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It's right over here in this corner, right there. Just click it if you guys aren't a subscriber. Love to have you as part of the Airsoftology family, and you guys won't miss any updates with the Mondays videos like what you have here, which is the Q&A, and then all the actual reviews I do throughout the week and the vlogs. In fact, if you guys didn't see it, I put a vlog up this last week. Oh, before I forget, patches are getting super thin, so if you guys haven't picked up your Corgi patch, definitely do it now. I'll have a link as always below or at the end of the video here. Actually, right next to me right now, probably have a link going up right now to take you over to the web store to pick those up, because those things are almost sold out. You guys have been buying them like crazy. Fear not, I got some restocks, some other things in the way. The Corgis are probably gonna be out for a little while though, so if you haven't picked yours up, now is the chance. But guys, until next week, go out, have some fun, play some airsoft, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.